Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. I am your host and foreclosure deals coach, Donny Coram, and I am super excited. Listen, guys, I have clients all over the United States of America, okay? People come from all over to invest in foreclosures right here, mostly in the local market as they learn their flipping career. But very often I get an opportunity to interact directly with my clients, and today is one such example. I am honored and pleased to have Mr. Cameron Hunt on the show this morning. How's it going, Cam? What's up?
Good. You see, Donnie has a lot of energy.
Always, man. Always.
But yeah, this is a great opportunity. Great opportunity.
Well, we're great to have you. Cameron, we have you on the show today because you recently joined the coaching program. Let's start with that. How long ago did you join up? I know we met at our flooring store, had a discussion about the coaching. You decided to join. When did that happen? How long ago was that?
Donnie, it's been about 2 months.
Okay.
And the reason being, for myself, I'm a 9-to-5 worker, and I dabbled in real estate on the side previously in earlier years, and made some successes. However, I wanted to expand that. And in this instance, I wanted to get new information. And I joined the program because the mentorship aspect of it.
I love that.
Because getting back into it, there's a lot of hand-holding that I need in order to move forward on what I want to do in real estate and what I want to do with my career.
Yeah, I love that, Cam. And obviously, you know, we're not going to disclose his age, but I'll just say this: he is much more mature than he didn't look his age. I'm going to tell you that right now, right?
So feel it.
Do you feel it
on the inside?
So, well, why now? I mean, obviously, you've been doing real estate investing for a while. Now we met up. You're doing this. You had your second deals. What made you decide that getting into foreclosure investing was the right choice for you in today's market?
Well, you said it right there, today's market. It's just the way the economy is going for myself, where I'm going in life, that eventually I do want to retire.
Mm-hmm.
I want to retire with a sizable enough nest egg that if I want to go on vacation or do some things for my family or myself, I can actually do it. This looked like a good opportunity, a good vehicle. I was able to have the opportunity to grill this gentleman here to find out if he's really worth his salt.
Thank you.
Does he know what he's talking about? But mainly what I liked, he's very dedicated to exceeding my expectations as an entrepreneur. He was there for me.
I appreciate that.
So, and that's why I'm basically fully vested in this.
I love that. So let's go over, and thank you. I really appreciate it. Let's go over what happened 2 months. You signed up for coaching. Well, what's happened since then? Obviously, we got to get you pre-approved for the financing. That was a bit of a process, making sure we had the capital available. And although there's a ton of equity available in your home, that was our desired route. That's not how we ended up getting you the funding that you needed. How ultimately did you find the funding that you needed to do the deal that you're now ready to do?
What I liked most of, it wasn't just a wham bam kind of, hey, a microwave type of thing. What his organization and his people did, they actually looked at my credit. They actually got into the weeds, got really personal into the nooks and crannies of my credit situation, and amplified what was already there, so I would be in a more advantageous position for investing.
Yeah, I like that. I think part of the issue that we came in is, like again, a ton of equity in your property already, but a really awesome first position interest rate on your mortgage. So it didn't make sense to mess with that, right?
Yes.
Maybe extending your HELOC made some degree of sense. What we opted to do, it sounds like, is just go with credit-based financing, getting you the down payment funds on some business lines of credit, et cetera, which it sounds like you're set up to go now, right?
Yes. And that was another thing that was to the program's credit. We actually came up with a strategic plan. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just a cookie cutter type thing where this is how we do it. If you have the money, fine. If you don't have the money, go screw yourself.
Right.
You know, which is usually
that's most programs, right?
That's 99%.
Yes.
And that's what I was alluding to. There's a lot of different investment real estate programs out there that anyone can get into. And with all due respect to them, their information is solid.
Mm-hmm.
However, how to implement that
That's
information is just dead information if you don't know how to use it effectively. It's like having a car, but yet not knowing how to drive.
100%.
So in this aspect, I have an actual tutor that sits beside me and can handhold and say, hey, you know, what you got is fine. This is how it can be better. And it's not the ultimate way to do it, but he at least comes with, hey, this is how I do it, and this is what works for me, so I can vouch for it.
I love that, and I appreciate that. One of the things that you brought up is, access to me as your coach, and that's a big thing that I pride myself on, because the larger programs, they've got layers to them, they've got sub coaches. I use Stan Merrill as an example all the time, where you could pay $30,000 or $40,000 for that coaching, but you're never gonna have a conversation with Stan Merrill. This just ain't gonna happen, right? In my world, I'm really trying to be more focused, where I can meet with you on a one-on-one basis. But what I find surprising, Cam, and speak to this if you would, a lot of people, even my existing clients, don't really take me up on that ability to interact. You and I meet once a week or once every other week at this point, and we've done so pretty consistently, and I really enjoy this part of it. But why is that different for you? Why have you been consistent about meeting up, and what are you gaining from the interactions?
Well, I wanted to find out if the rubber met the road, actually, if he's just full of crap or not. He's laughing, but that's not a joke. I mean, I have access to him. We are actually in his house. We're in his living room. And when we usually go out for coffee, and I haven't paid 30 grand or any grand for the one-on-one coaching aspect. I just wanted to see if he could put his money where his mouth was, and whether he was full of shit or not.
Yeah, that's great. No, I appreciate that.
But
this is not a kid's show, so we're okay.
and that's what the whole focus was. Accessibility. It's like I got a few dumb questions, probably dumb for him, but just concerns for me. And it's like, hey, would you like to go hang out? And he was like, yeah, sure. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I got to get up and get myself ready to do some things, and that's how it started, the relationship. And that's what I was really looking for the mentorship and the relationship. Yes. Somebody who can take what I'm trying to do and mold a vision behind it.
I love that.
In a direction, and say, hey, this is how we're going for you.
Yes.
Not just with just all the rest of the clientele, but for you. Yeah. So this was actually personally tailored for my particular interests and where I wanted to go.
I really appreciate you saying that. I'll give you the $5 later that I owe you, but it's true, man, because a lot of, there are coaching programs that are out there with the design of teaching you the general concepts of real estate investing, right? And although that's helpful, you got to get some baseline knowledge to be effective at this. You nailed it. My objective as the coach is to meet you exactly where you are. I just recently got my Series 65 license, excuse me, right?
So what does that mean?
I'm a registered investment advisor. And so what that means is, one of the tests that I have is suitability. Is this investment vehicle a suitable thing for your investment process, right? We tested for suitability before you signed up, and I do that with every client. But once I know the investment vehicle, in this case, real estate investing, is suitable, we can now tailor a package that makes that feasible for you, right? So how's that working for you on the suitability side? Do you feel like you're ready to do a deal at this point?
Oh yeah, because there's no fear in it. I can actually say at this point, I mean, I can't vouch for later on down the road whether I want to kick his ass or not, because
I'm still bigger than you.
So because we're still in the investment, we're still in the infancy dating phase.
That's right.
So, and right now I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's good.
Good.
And yes, I'm ready for the next step. We've done the groundwork, which was very important for me. Not that I wasn't ready to, but I loved the attention to detail. That, hey, we're going to look at your credit. We're going to look at what you got, what credit card you have, what credit card debt you have, because the main thing was whether or not I could afford the payments after the initial investment.
Right.
Still got to make a living, still got to maintain a household,
etc.
And still be able to do this without eating ramen noodles for the rest of my life or until the deal is done.
Absolutely.
So that's what I appreciated. So yeah, I'm ready to go to the next step. We're ready to go for something juicy, because I don't know if here it is. I'll share this. I told Donny, hey, the first deal has to be a good deal, because it has to be able to make money for me, so I can pay the debt off, and then we can
move from there.
Rinse and repeat, as it's called in the business, to do more.
Yeah, and I guess to clear up that a little bit, the idea is that when we when we invest in the deal and we pull enough capital, we're also going to be pulling out your holding costs. So it shouldn't be something that creates a financial burden on you. Ideally, we're going to get enough to cover the rehab on the property and 3 to 4 months of payments That's about how long you should probably own the investment vehicle, right? So if we build all of that into the total financing, it doesn't create a financial burden, but it should create a payday at the end once the property sells, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, I mean, that's what we're doing it for.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing for.
And hopefully he'll have me back so I can keep you vested and keep you current on what's going on. And I'll even show pictures.
I like
that way, because pictures say a lot of words instead of just two black dudes talking smack on a live stream.
We don't get a lot of this. And that actually brings me to my next point, Cameron. And obviously, it's not the only reason I do this, but it is interesting how few minorities do real estate investing. And obviously, there's a leap of faith that it takes to invest in coaching. But why are there so few of us, do you think, in the real estate investment industry? Well, what do you credit that to?
Well, Donny, I'm glad you asked me that question. Because the reason being, I guess me as an Afro-American black male in Colorado Springs, tired of getting taken advantage of. In one way or another, with investing, you throw a ton of money toward a certain program, you get the PDFs, you get the training material, and sometimes you even get physical manuals, whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's stocks or whatever. And you look at it and it's like, okay, now I got to go back to school and become an expert in this field, which I really got barely enough time to play with my kids, to play with my family, or to be with my family and to earn a living.
Sure.
So I'm doing double duty. Now this is like a second and third job.
Another education you got to get.
It's not fun.
Right.
So that's what I believe most people of color don't do, because like I said, we're tired of being taken advantage of, and we just don't have the time or copious amounts of time to dedicate to learning a new career field and still be effective in our own career field.
Absolutely.
So, there's a reluctancy there.
100%.
And there's a trust factor.
Absolutely.
That's what I like. Like I said before, I really love the dedication to detail with this organization so far as it's been. I'm still in the infancy, so I can't talk so much about it because I'm not getting paid to do this.
Other way around, you paid to be here in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah,
you invested in this, and it's interesting because you do bring up a valid point where there are a lot of scams in the real estate investing space, especially in coaching, right? There are a lot of people. I
wouldn't say scams.
Okay.
What I would say is, it does not manifest the promises that it says.
Okay.
There's a lot of what ifs, or you could make millions.
Right.
You could do this. And I could win the lottery too, and be a millionaire.
Sure.
And it's from that kind of aspect, I believe, that people are tired of that. Hey, there's more hype than there is
reality.
A realization of what transpires. Yes. And people are just tired of that.
I agree with that.
Are just tired of the rigmarole of constantly being led astray.
But when you look at the wealth gap, though, between, it's just minorities in general. I'm not going to focus just on African Americans, but just in the fact that there's a massive wealth gap, stepping out of your comfort zone and taking a little bit more risk is actually critical, I think, to changing that a little bit.
Yeah, but there's such a thing as people do get in, they recklessly risk.
Yes.
And even to speak to the wealth gap and to those that are wealthy or the more affluent, they will attest beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have a consortium, a club, a group of individuals that they can come together. It's not just them doing it solo, that they have a community of people that they can rely on. And with this particular organization, which I enjoyed, there's more of a community. There's more hand-holding. There's more mentorship to help me succeed on many different levels.
Well, I love that you brought that up because, people see me as the face of the coaching enterprise, but really I'm the mindset piece. Like a big part of what I'm doing here is making sure you actually do a deal, right? Yes. But beyond that, it comes down to I've got somebody to handle locating the deals, my acquisition team, which you're just getting into now. I do analyze the deals individually because I'm kind of particular about making sure I have my stamp of approval on anything my students are going to do, right?
It's good.
But then we have our funding manager, Mike, who you've been working with for the last couple of months to get going and get pre-qualified. When you get a deal, we've got our project management team to help on the construction. And then finally, when you're selling the deal, you're going to be working with my agents. So you're not just buying Donny, but rather the entire team. And it seems like so far you're interacting with Mike as a first round of this, and you're pleased with the team as it's going so far, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, the people were very positive, but they were literal from the standpoint of it wasn't, well, great, Cameron, we're really going to help you do this. You know, it wasn't fake. It was very genuine. It was authentic.
I appreciate that.
And it was sobering in the same aspect. They said, well, because they told me some key points of, we know where you want to go, we know how you want to go, but maybe we've got to pump our brakes a little bit,
figure out how to do
and
it right.
restructure some things.
Yes,
because you got a couple of loose ends here, like we all do.
Mm-hmm.
When regular life hits, sometimes with divorce, sometimes with relationships,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we have difficult significant others that just does not see the big picture, that we have to bring them in kicking and dragging sometimes.
And that's the truth.
But they are willing to work with you on that aspect to tie it all together to where it's not so complicated. He talks very fast.
I do.
And he brings a lot of jargon in. And sometimes for me, you got to dummy it down just a tad,
Sure.
you know, just so I could keep pace and I can digest it.
Yeah.
And then I can say, hey, wait a minute, I heard that. I know a little bit about it, but can you clarify? So, and they've been very forthcoming. You know, Donnie's very busy because he's doing a lot of spots and ads, but his team is very accessible on top of that. And like today, I'm in his house. So, you know, we're not in an office space or anything like that. That really spoke volumes for me.
Well, I appreciate that. And I do want the personal relationship with my clients. It's a big thing of why this was set up. You know, and I go back to the vision overall, and I shared it with every one of my clients, but I'll share it with you guys now. If you can imagine having 50 clients in the Foreclosure Deals Coach program, right? And each of them are consistently doing 4 houses per year. Right. And those houses are throwing off 25,000 in profit per unit. Then you as a client are making $100,000 a year. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my markup on every deal. I'm super transparent about this because I want the clarity on the whys I do this. Right. And some of it is if I create wealth in the clientele and you're making money consistently, that I can find more deals. I make a little bit of profit on each deal, and that adds up to a lot of profit when you have a lot of clients who are being serviced. In this case, 50 clients, 4 deals equals 200 deals per year. If my wholesale markup, and I'm very transparent about what it is on every deal, but it's usually somewhere between 5 and 20 grand, right?
Yeah.
That works out to $2 million that I'm making to be a top line coach, helping people to make $100,000 a year. So this isn't just about me, but rather the system I can create as long as my clients find success in real estate investing. And that's just so rare, I think, in the industry. It's just not something that's focused on. What's next? We got to find you a deal. We are actively looking for that deal now. Obviously, Pueblo's a pretty hot market right now. And we generally have made Pueblo the bastard stepchild of real estate investing, but it's been coming up in conversation a lot. Why do you think the conversation switching to Pueblo? How do you feel about doing your first deal in an entry level market like that as we proceed?
Honestly, I really don't care. where we
honesty pays. I appreciate
as
that.
Long as at
we're
the
making
end
money.
of the day, I at least break even.
No, we don't break even here.
But I just want to. I would be satisfied. And Donnie's talking about we're going to do 4 deals a year. You know, I'm good for one in 2014 to where I can brag about it. 2024, 22. Look,
you're flashing back to the future.
Yeah. I'm just going to be happy being able to do one deal because that will give me the confidence to do more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to walk before run and run before I'm trying to sprint before I run and fall flat on my face.
Yes.
Being overextended. That's my greatest fear. If there's a fear right now.
Okay.
Pueblo, I've been to Pueblo. I know Pueblo to a certain degree. It's an up and coming market from Pueblo West and other areas.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of opportunity. As far as what to do with the property, whether it can sell quickly is my only concern.
That's right.
Whether it can sell quickly after the rehab is done.
Yes.
30 to 60 to 90 days after the fact.
Hopefully
how long will I have to float the payments?
Yeah.
How long the overhead costs to be able to even break even? So, and like I said, for me, first time out the gate, I'm going for experience.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much doing 4 or 5 deals, because you can, and anybody who's a realtor in real estate, they can do a lot of deals and still not make no money.
That's true.
Because they're just flipping property. And the overhead is so high, so astronomically high. I'm off camera. So astronomically high that they don't make any real money anyway. So it's like all fluff.
Yeah.
So I am more concentrating on doing it right.
I love that.
Being meticulous about it, and then coming up with a standard operating procedures on how to repeat the process effectively.
Oh gosh, yeah. Preach on. Again, I owe you $5. Listen, that is the point.
$5.
I know we're starting small. You said we're starting small.
I'm a cheap whore. $5.
That's all downhill.
Don't reach
from
around.
That's not gonna. That is not gonna get better from there. So we're just gonna keep moving forward.
$5.
You're killing me. No, it's about building the process. And I think when people come to me, everybody's looking to get rich quick in real estate investing, right? What we have to recap is exactly what you said. The smart money understands that you're here to learn how to build the process that allows you to do this consistently, right? Because if you can do 4 a year, you're going to knock it out of the park on some of them, making this crazy amount of money, and you're going to make just a little bit on some of the other ones, but you'll have your construction crews, your funding, your analysis will be dialed in.
Well, I'm gonna be an addict. If I get to that level, I'm gonna be an addict.
When?
Oh, hey, we'll put a timeline within by the end of 2025.
I like that,
because that's realistic. A year and a half.
Yes.
Realistic. After the first one, there should be enough of an infrastructure in place, which is anybody. If you guys get into real estate, you got to have an infrastructure of. You're either a builder or your rehab people,
right.
Your financiers, your team, and that's the hard part. That's the secret sauce,
and that's what you're getting as part of the coaching. Like you're getting the team on day one, so you don't have to go out and find those contractors, locate the hard money lenders, figure out how to locate deals. Right, you're buying into a system that's existing, but it still takes time to individualize it and personalize it to Cameron. Right. And that's what we're tweaking right now. You're in the very early phases. You're officially ready to go to find a deal. I hope to have you back on the show once we've got your deal started and we get going and interview again and how that feels and how we're doing that first deal. And then I really do want to see you get, for lack of better terms, addicted to doing this on a consistent basis, because it can change your life and your income across the board. Any parting thoughts, Cameron? We're kind of at our 20-minute mark. There's a couple people still watching. If you guys have questions for Cameron, please hop on screen or just pop in the comments. Let me know if there's anything out there. But what would you like to share with the people as we start to wrap this up today?
To share a Black person soliloquy, I'm going to be here to share the tea. And I got to pay for these braces a little bit better, and a couple other things I want to do for me, myself, and I in my lifetime. So yeah, I want to keep people posted, and I wanted to do this just to be able to talk some smack, because I'm tired of investing in programs such as this. Like I said, not that the programs are bad in themselves.
It's what you do with it, right?
No, it's just that the team that usually is promoting the program is spread so thin that they can't help individually.
Yep.
They can't help individually, and they're very hard to come by as far as getting a straight answer or someone to walk you through the process.
Yes.
To ensure that amount of success.
Yes, I love
So for here, right now, yeah, it's worth the money.
That's all I need to hear.
I put in the money. I'm vested in it, so I'm gonna ride this puppy out like a mediocre marriage.
Wow. That got dark really fast. All right.
Just being literal and honest. I love the authenticity. I love that they provide, like I said, one-on-one coaching and guidance, which is very well. And they seem very dedicated to the cause of me for once, and me doing well. This man here is not so much, hey, I want your money, because it wasn't really even about the money when I first met him. It was about, hey, what are you trying to do in your real estate journey, and how can I help you get there?
Absolutely. And I think that's lacking in the industry. And it's not one of a kind, but it is extremely rare. What's even more rare is people who know the market in Colorado Springs, where you and I are located, as well as I do. And I'm not just, kudos here, but you got the guys who are all over the country, who are doing deals all over the country. And that's great. But if you're trying to do a deal right here in the Colorado market, which is arguably one of the fastest growing markets, it's tangible.
You can actually see it.
It's real, and that's an important part of what I offer. And I'm so glad that you're a part of the team, Cameron. To have you aboard is amazing. I'm hoping we can do a ton of deals together. Let's get the first one done, or started, and then I'd like to have you back on the show to discuss how you're feeling after you bought your first place. How's that sound?
Yeah, let's not muck it up.
You're so bad. With that, this is Donny Coram and Cameron Hunt with Foreclosure Deals Coach. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and reminding you now and always, don't buy a house, buy a deal.